welcome, Fret Talk listeners. It is episode number 260 of the Fret Talk podcast. You are here with your host, Mr. BudgetPedalChap. Very, very nearly not here with Mr. BudgetPedalChap. We'll go into that a little bit later. We are also joined by Mr. Oh my gosh, it is Josh.
Giving the people what they want, giving the people what they need. Drink it in, baby.
I mean, that is confidence. That I like
Gift
that.
of Josh.
That's it. The gift of Josh. Where's the receipt? Can we return it?
You passed your 28-day expiry.
And we are also joined by Mr. Matt Quine. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Way.
Way.
Oh, it's a podcast. I am sweating my taters off already. It's a muggy evening, this is. Very muggy evening.
I'm right by the conservatory doors, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Indeed. Right, who wants to start us off with some podcasty goodness?
Well, I think you should, because I have a feeling that yours is going to take the longest.
It probably won't. But we'll. Yeah, go on. I will. Now you've asked nicely, Josh.
I've piqued your interest.
Indeed. Right, so I'll warm us up a little first before we get onto the drama of this week. I recorded a No Talk All Tone versus 2 weeks ago, maybe. I don't know. I record them in advance. They're not done live. You peek behind the curtain here. I mean, they could be. They require very little editing. I've got it down to an art these days. But yeah, so I thought it's been a while since I've done a Tube Screamer shootout, and I kept seeing the Bad Monkey cropping up like on the like Facebook groups and whatnot. I thought I'm going to try that again. I want to see what it's all about, and I've got that versus another pedal that I used to run with on my first ever pedal board. So it's kind of like a little reunion, tone reunion. So it was the Behringer Tube Overdrive. Yes, I used to run 2 Tube Screamers.
Wait.
What of it?
Jackpot.
That's it. Back then, your choices were you had a Tube Screamer, you had a Tube Screamer clone, or you had maybe like a DS1, or if you're feeling particularly fruity, a Mega Distortion. And
or if you're feeling mega fruity, you got the Digitech Death Metal.
Yeah, Digitech Death Metal was about. There was a kid who used to be on the scene around Birmingham who had a Digitech grunge, and he was the coolest because of this absolute wall of noise. I mean, everything was loud, so it sounded great, but it was the fact that everything was loud. It weren't the tone of that pedal. That pedal, on hindsight, sucks absolute ass water. So,
no, really?
Indeed. Yeah, when I used to rock the Bad Monkey and this Behringer Tube Overdrive, I have no qualms in saying that I used to play them badly. Like, I didn't know how to set them up. I just turn everything up, turn all the dials up and try and get the most gain.
All of the dials up on a Tube Screamer.
Yeah, try and get all of the gain out of it. Yeah. And it would sound horrible.
Did you stack them into each other as well?
That may have happened 1 or 2 times.
Guitar goes.
Indeed. I was young and inexperienced. I wanted like a really heavy tone.
Was this back in the days when you were running a Line 6 Spider as well?
No, this is only last week.
No. This was so. By the time I had both those pedals, I was running. It was one of the Marshall, like the early valve state heads, and they were pretty good.
The AVT 150.
No, it was the earlier valve state than that, like the V something or other. So the AVT followed it, and they didn't sound as good. But the early valve state stuff sounded pretty cool. So I used to run these 2 pedals. I'm pretty sure I stacked them. My tone was terrible back then. I don't care. Like we all learn.
No tone.
But I've revisited these 2 on the verses, and actually they are both very, very competent Tube Screamer clones. The Behringer is, I believe, an 808, and the Bad Monkey's a TS9 with a like active bass and treble control. Basically, your treble control is your standard tone control, and then you've got the bass control, almost like the super fat mod on the Blues Driver, adding bass back into the signal. Both sound really great. You need to check out the video because I need you to vote on them. You need to tell me which one is better. And then what I might do with the No Talk All Tone verses, I might collate some of the scores, and then do like the ultimate tube screamer at the end of it. Because we had the TS Mini versus the Joyo as the first No Talk All Tone verses, and the Joyo won. So you maybe, like, if you want to see the Behringer versus the Joyo or the Bad Monkey versus the Joyo, you've got to go and vote for that. But of course, this is not the news that we were talking about this week, is it? I think on your socials on Monday, Josh, you shared a little bit of news that we were going to be doing some video shooting.
Yeah.
It was at that point where the curse fell down upon the day.
Yeah, it was like all best laid plans had gone to waste. And it was like, so you wanted to do this today? Oh, well, apparently your horoscope says,
Yeah. The magic 8 ball says, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck your plans.
It was just like, okay, this is about as bad as today can get. And then you think, right, it can't possibly get any worse. Computer says no.
You want to bet? So, to give a bit of context, like me and Josh had been planning. We've been planning a meetup to do some, like, basically like batch records, a bunch of videos for pedalboards are doing. We had about like 3 video ideas fleshed out that we were gonna absolutely hammer out.
They were all pretty solid video ideas as well, if I may add.
Yeah, I think we may have talked about some of them before, but I don't mind sharing that we were going to do like a first impressions of the HX Stomp for a QC user and vice versa. So we were going to like get to play with each other's toys, which is fantastic. Like the day at the end of term in primary school.
Go around.
You would have definitely had.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that.
You definitely would have had like the better end of the bargain. It's just like, this is I can't remember much the HX stock costs. Yeah. It's just like, let me play with this £1,500 piece of software.
That's it. Yeah, it's like, and then, here's my PS1. Now, can I play on your PS5?
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah,
we were going to do a blindfold shootout of like similar amp tones as well. Yeah. See if we could guess like kind of which one was the Helix and which one was the Cortex.
Yeah, and like I was absolutely buzzing for it. I was really excited for it. I'd like gathered up all my equipment and I packed it in the car. I got about 5 minutes down the road from where you live because we were going to shoot at your house.
At my gaff.
At your gaff, indeed. And then there was a massive road closure where they decided to resurface the entire of the road that links up to where Josh's house, the road that Josh's house is on. And it's the only road that goes there. So
he's not exaggerating. It is legit the only road in and out.
Indeed, yeah. So, like, I managed to get like on a cul-de-sac that was behind where your house was.
Yeah, the Ford Rough.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think it was cool. I think it's called, yeah.
Yeah, so like I could have stood on the top of my car and saw into your back garden from that point, but it was no use because I had shed loads of gear and stuff. So I went to do the arduous 15-minute round trip to get around this road blockage, and at the top of the road, my car completely died.
And it's not like it ran out of petrol or like the exhaust fell off.
Yeah, it's not like there was a annoying knocking that I'd been ignoring for weeks prior.
Or a
like-
check engine light
Yeah.
for 6 months.
That's it. I'd put a bit of gaffer tape
I
over.
feel
so
like this is a personal attack on me. The check engine light is there to let you know that you still have an engine, right?
That's it. Yeah. Engine.
That's
check.
why it's engine check on.
Yep.
Yes.
That's it. You've
Yeah,
still got
it's
an
still-
engine.
Turn the
still
ignition
there.
on, and it tells me that my engine is on. That's
Yeah.
what the yellow light's for.
So there was absolutely no foreseeing this incident. But basically, the entire battery on my car went dead. Usually, when your battery runs low, it won't let you start the car, but you still got like your dash,
Radio and
yeah,
dash
all of that.
lights and-
The battery just went completely dead in an instant, which shit me up something rotten. And my current car, which may not be my current car for too long, has got an electronic brake. So rather than like a manual handbrake, it's got an electronic handbrake, which meant that I was stuck on a hill with no handbrake.
That's what the head's is for.
Yeah, well, I managed to kind of jimmy myself onto a curb so that it weren't rolling back, causing issues. And
He's now got a thigh like a fucking piece of oak wood.
I tell you, yeah, I worked out the quadriceps that day. But to cut a 3-hour sat in a car in the sun story short, we didn't get to film that day, did we, Josh? We didn't get to film that day.
Boo.
And-
Well, we nearly did. There was a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, there was a brief kind of 5-minute window where I thought, yes, I'm going to be able to get to Josh's. And then
literally about 2 minutes later, it's just like, Josh.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
not
mate.
happening.
I've realised I've got no clutch, and they are almost instrumental to being able to, move.
Move the vehicle.
Yeah. So that was problematic. Yeah. Basically, the repercussions of this is that money that I had earmarked for, like, potentially upgrading video equipment or buying new audio gear is now pissed down the swanee.
It's not been a good couple of months for our budget pedal chat because his amplifier went,
Yeah.
and then and now the car's gone.
That's it.
Really expensive video ideas, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought
Well,
the last video was the most
ironically,
expensive one. Yeah, this one.
Ironically, and I think we need to roll with this the next time we actually do, but I did put in our Fret Talk podcast group that we got and it said, like, it's literally been the most expensive video idea ever. And it fucking has.
Yeah, the best thing about it is this video was even more expensive and didn't get made.
Indeed. Yeah. Fuck, man. Fuck. It's just so this week, fuck this week, pretty much is what I'm saying.
This week, Budget Pedal Chap is going extra budget and he is playing with a pedal from AliExpress.
But I have to return it. Matt, cheer us up, mate. Cheer us up. You've got some news which doesn't involve £1,200 worth of repairs.
I do. It involves significantly less than £1,200 worth of repairs. I mean, it involves repairs, but not
Indeed.
to a vehicle. So I mentioned about 6 weeks ago that I'd snapped the headstock off a Les Paul and put it in for repairs.
Yeah.
I got a photo on, I think it was Friday, which I've shared with the guys, saying, "Oh, look, it's glued back together and it's staying together and all looks good. I'm going to up the tension over the next few days." And the first thing I had to do was zoom in on the photo to try and find where the crack was, because it's such a good job he's done that I couldn't. I wasn't 100% sure whether he was showing me the right guitar. So it's like the headstock was definitely like there was a big jagged crack, and it like the job he's done is absolutely fantastic.
Gonna say that we've all zoomed in on a picture on the internet to look at the crack, haven't we? Let's not say we haven't.
Fun fact, as you know, I'm a big Formula One fan, and every time the commentator goes to the Aston Martin pit garage and mentions their CEO or whatever it's called now, Mike Crack, I always laugh.
I mean, you've got to. I think it's the law. I think.
Yeah, it must be the law.
It's mandated under Fret Talk, our company policy.
Oh, is it? Shit, I didn't see that.
Yeah, if there's someone called Mike Crack, then you absolutely have to give it a giggle.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but yeah, so I got that notice, and then he also mentioned that the knobs that have been put on the pots were 18 spline knobs that had gone on to 24 spline pots, so they compressed the top of the actual, like, you know, the spiky bit that comes out of the front of the guitar. I don't know what you call it. The movie bit of the pot.
Yeah, the shaft.
I don't know. Yeah, the shaft. There we go. Yeah. So the.
I was trying to think the spiky bit on the guitar. I was like, does he mean like
pointy outy bits?
I was like, does he mean the body horn?
Yeah, you've got the split shaft or you've got the solid shaft.
Yeah,
on pots.
and it was a split shaft, and they've been pressed shut. And he was actually he just noticed that the one of the pots was loose, and he was just going in to tighten it because he's obviously doing a setup. And he noticed this, and he said he's bought some replacements, which I'm absolutely fine with, so that they're right size ones, and there's not as much pressure on the pots, so that hopefully they won't get damaged. And all in for a headstock repair that is phenomenal, complete setup, replacement of this stuff, and sorting out the issues with that. It's cost me 150 quid.
Shit, mate.
Which is just
it might be cheaper for me to send my guitars to the Isle of Man to get them set up.
Because it's just like I say, absolutely delighted with that, and I'm going to swap over because the Widdly guitar that I bought like back in May still haven't had set up, so I think I'm just going to drop that off with him and just say, will you set up this Floyd Rose? It will be a bit more expensive because obviously Floyd Rose systems are a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
no, they're not.
Absolutely. Josh, you are 2 against 1 here.
I own 4 Floyd Rose guitars, and in the years I've had them, I've never had an issue.
The issue is the person who had it before me is a really, really light has a really, really light touch. So,
is this a kid-friendly podcast?
Oh, but yeah, so he had a really light touch, and like literally I can't strum the guitar without it just rattling, so the whole thing needs lifting up, and then it needs a full reset, which I just can't be asked. Even if that was on a like a different bridge system, I wouldn't do it myself.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's on a Floyd Rose, the whole thing needs like moving up, and then the rest of the guitar needs resetting up. I really can't be asked. So I'll drop that off at the same time, so that I've got, and then I can start learning some like Van Halen shit, or I don't know, some other Widdly stuff.
Yeah, Van Halen stuff. I've found it recently surprisingly more difficult than you'd think.
I mean, I was already planning on it being really difficult. So that's not what I wanted to hear.
Times that by about 2.5, and you
excellent,
roughly in the ballpark. That's for the rhythm stuff, of course, like the lead. Whoa.
Yeah, well, the only reason, like, part of the reason I bought this is because one of the bands I'm in has been after me doing Jump by Van Halen for about 18 months, and they're like, you'd be good enough to do something that like sort of sounds like the solo, and I'm like, I don't think I will, but I'm gonna have to give it a go because I've got the right type of guitar for it now.
Yeah, or turn up to rehearsal and absolutely fuck it up beyond recognition to a point where they go, no, we're not doing that one anymore.
Yeah, it's one or the other, isn't it?
Yeah.
But and it'll also be nice to have a Floyd Rose just to mess about with dive bombs and all that kind of stuff. And that actually brings me on to something that I'd forgotten about, which is I received a pedal in the post.
Oh, I think you did,
Mr. Josh.
Well, hey,
me.
And it does dive bomby things because I bought a whammy. And
so what you're saying is you didn't actually need that guitar?
No, I absolutely do, because I can't tap on. Well, I mean, you can tap on a like Les Paul or a Strat or a Telly, but
I must admit I've never used the dive bomb function on it. I've
what on earth have you got Floyd Roses for then? Why?
Well, because I always used it for an octave 2 or octave 1, not for some of the Rammstein solos. I never used it for like the dive bomb.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of songs that we do where I need harmony parts, so I'll probably be using it mainly for that. But like, there's no way I'm buying a whammy and using it not for the dive bomb function at some point, because who doesn't want to hear in the middle of their blues song, wee wee wee? It's Just
I mean, you'll find out exactly who doesn't want to hear that.
Oh yeah, I'm going to clear some pubs out. It's going to be great fun.
Oh dear.
A little bit of Red House, and then right at the end, just absolutely.
Yeah, the house fell down. Boom.
But yeah, yeah. So I've got the whammy, which I'm probably going to start an auxiliary board because I really want to have wah back on the board, but don't have any space for it. So I think I'm just going to set up an auxiliary board with the whammy, a wah pedal, and the expression pedal for my M5, which you can then start controlling some probably delay and have like those weird delay sounds that you get when you mess with the repeats and stuff and the time. So yeah, I think I'll probably set my mini board up just to have solely treadles on it. And
Nice.
I'm sure it'll look ridiculous, and I will have some great fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then what I've done since the last time I was on the cast is I've done 3 gigs, 3 very different gigs. The first was a wedding in a barn with a leaky roof on a rainy day, so that was fun.
I mean, this is very much sounds like the opening lines for a song here.
Literally, like we had a stage where we had to leave some space on the stage because that's where the leaks were coming through.
Nice.
So yeah, like it was like, oh, we're going to have to move the monitor forward 18 inches because otherwise the monitor is going to electrocute everyone.
Health and safety. Never heard of her.
But yeah, so that was not too bad. That was a good fun one. And then we played a pizza restaurant because it's an awesome pizza restaurant owned by some people who just love live music. And
please tell me the riders for free pizza.
Absolutely. I mean, so we get paid cash and free pizza.
Shit, man, that's
So,
like a double whammy of awesome.
Yeah, so
you can't complain with that at all.
Yeah, it's pizza after you've finished, and then so you get to sit down, have some pizza, and then break all your gear down when you're stuffed full of pizza.
Nice.
But,
Nice.
yeah, I always love playing that venue. They're really good over here. They're so supportive of local music. They're really passionate about like all local things, and just great people. And then I
Did you play the Godfather theme song?
I didn't, unfortunately. Might have to learn that for next time, though. And then I did a wedding on Saturday, which is possibly the most stressful gig I've ever done. So I was in a marquee in a field, and the marquee didn't even have a floor on it. So you literally putting your amp and your pedal board down on like uneven grass. Not really that comfortable with doing that anyway, but okay. The marquee's been up for a week. It's dry inside. I guess it's okay. No area of protection in front of you. Literally just piss people and very, very leery, very, very drunk people. And I spent 70% of the set standing over the top of my pedal board with one leg either side of my pedal board, trying to stop people from tripping over my pedal board. Because I just, like, the bride tripped over and fell on my pedal board and changed all of the settings on every pedal. So that was great.
I just really hope you were playing, like, a clean section and all of a sudden...
I was playing, I mean, it was fairly clean. I was playing the rhythm part covered in chorus, and she turned on 2 drive pedals and turned the drive all the way up. So she turned on my rhythm boost, my rhythm game and my lead boost.
So it weren't even a quiet mistake.
So yeah, I went from kind of like in the background. We were doing Friday I'm in Love by The Cure. So I'm literally just strumming along some chords, and it goes from really like low in the mix to just bang. Sounds a bit like fucking metal chords, just so much louder. So I just immediately like roll all the way down on the volume on the guitar and try and help the bride to her feet and sort out everything that's going on. But yeah, it was just, like I said, it was just so stressful because I was just like, there's £3,000 on the floor here, and all of these people are spilling beer and spilling just all sorts of booze, and all they do is get closer and closer to the stage. And then one drunk girl literally just walked past me to stand like between me and the bass player, and I'm just looking at her. And at that point, I just stopped and just pointed at her and just kept pointing away. And I was like, I'm not playing anymore until you fucking get over there because I'm stressed out. It was literally one of the most stressful experiences I've had playing. I hate when
That's
people.
That's why I wouldn't play weddings.
Yeah, I mean, generally it's all right. most of the wedding venues over here now provide at least some sort of staging, and even if it's like not enough for the whole band to get on, it's kind of gives an indicator of people to, you know, you got to stay back a bit. And they generally all also have like, you know, these like click together dance floors that you can put down just so that it gives you a kind of, this is where you're supposed to be, and you can keep it like 5 foot back, so even if they step off the front, they know that they've got to step. But there was none of that for this. It was literally just drunk people deciding to do whatever they want. And
drunk people are the best, aren't they?
Yeah, fucking wonderful. Wish everyone was drunk all the time.
Like fucking toddlers, isn't it?
It is. And yeah, it was like herding cats. And yeah, like I say, I just spent the whole time going, I wish I'd brought spare pedal. I wish I'd brought spare pedals, and I just put down my cheap board. But I don't have a cheap board anymore.
I mean, that's my philosophy for my board, is that everything on there, bar one pedal, is absolutely replaceable.
Yeah, but it doesn't quite sound quite as good. It's like 95%, and I don't like 95%. I like 100%.
Yeah, fair play. Fair play. I run the gambit of like 95% is good enough, because I know that if that 95% becomes 0% because of someone's beer, the tears won't be too hard to.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. And like I say, I've learned from the experience. I went to set up in the daytime, and I think if I was that's why I'm doing another wedding this Saturday, and I think if it's going to be a similar situation, I will come home and rebuild the board.
Yeah,
I'm just not dealing with it. Like, I was so stressed. I made so many mistakes because I was too busy focused, like trying to bounce people back into the crowd rather than have them fall over, and just. Yeah, I think if I'd put together a board with the cheaper stuff of my pedals, like the TC Corona chorus, or not the Corona, whichever.
The Afterglow.
Instead of my analog man, that's £200 saved, and drop a couple of the drive pedals off and go for some cheaper options that I've got. In fact, I think I've probably still got a Soul Food lying around, so I could drop that on there, and just go for something that's going to leave me less stressed. But that's what I've done for the last 2 weeks. Yeah,
I'm down with that. Josh. Apart from waiting in your house for the budget pedal chap who never came, you've been.
It's like waiting for Christmas, and then it's like nothing comes.
That's it. But you have been. You've been having a bit of a play today, haven't you?
I have. Yes. Well, I was going to be doing a video on this today for the wonderful pedal boards of doom people, but somehow something wasn't playing ball. And after about 7 video attempts, the last video just picks up fuck at the top of my voice, because just nothing seemed to work. Like, I was trying to record, I had the 2 cameras going, and then I was obviously recording my mic, and then which would go into my interface, and then the guitar going into interface for the product, which I'm going to speak about in a second. And then it was just like MIDI sample rate was some error, and then every time it just stopped recording.
Yes. We've all been there.
So then I was trying to drop the buffer rate size, and because I think as well, I was screen recording because it was to do with something in Logic, and I had to switch the automation to watch. I think it is in Logic. So then it when you change something, obviously then it picks up the change. You don't just get one entire audio. And it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I had to just kind of just fucking bin the idea, and I think I'm going to have to I will still do the video, but it might just have to be where I record the audio through the cameras rather than having to try and send all of the feed through.
Yeah, back through the DAW.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, my laptop's not a slouch. I mean, it will still handle it quite well, but for some reason, something just wasn't playing ball. So what I was playing with is the new neural archetype Rabea.
Ooh.
which I was speaking to somebody the other day. I'm not going to say their names for I don't know if it's an NDA agreement or whatever, but was talking about that Devin Townsend's working with something with Neural, and then lo and behold, the next day, Neural put up their signature announcement where they'd post a picture of like a black silhouette of an amp and cab, and was like soon, and I was just like, oh well, this has got to be like if they have their normal, Soldano or the Tone King Imperial, which they did as well, and then they have the Archetype, which is like to capture specific sounds, like they did Archetype,
they've done Nolly and
Nolly and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, this is going to be Archetype Devin Townsend, and I was just like, oh, I'm ready for this. And loads of people in the comments were like, oh, Archetype Devin Townsend, because Devin has announced many times he does a lot of Twitch streaming.
Yeah.
And he has said that he is working with something with Neural, so it's not exactly like...
it's like safe money to bet on Archetype Devin Dominator.
Especially because he's mentioned that he's working with Neural on something himself. So it's like the best, the worst kept secret sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then I did another announcement on Tuesday, and then they did an announcement saying, "Ooh, tomorrow," which would have been today. And then lo and behold, at 3:00, Archetype Rabia Mossad, and I was just like,
"What?
What?" Yeah, exactly. That was my response to it, and of course, everyone knows I'm a big fan of him, his music and things like that. So it was no hesitation. It was like, buy.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, literally. And the video is going to be like first reactions to the tones, because Rabia's sound is very, leading towards that mid-focused, progressive metal sound. But then he also does a lot, of like Strat vibes and ambient stuff. So there is quite a lot of tones that come into it. And so there's 3 amps. There's a clean, there's a rhythm, and there's a lead. And I must say the artwork that they've done for the amps is phenomenal. It looks absolutely beautiful. Nice. Like the clean is like very like steampunk sort of vibe. The rhythm is like white and gold with like gold sort of knobs, and it looks really nice. And then the lead is like it's like a blackface amp with skulls and like purple LEDs.
Nice.
Looks the dog's fucking bollocks. No guesses as to what they're voiced around, as he, works a lot with Victory. He's got his signature Kraken and the VX100, so they're modelled around those sounds.
Yeah.
But what's really good on them as well is that you can switch between EL34 and 6L6 voicings.
Okay.
On the amps, which I thought was really good. Pre and post effects, there's a dual compressor, an overdrive, a fuzz, and there's... forgot what the other one is. Compressor, fuzz, overdrive... I forgot what the other one is. And then there's delay, and then there's like stereo, delay, and reverb post effects. But what the selling point is they've done like a mono synth, and that's like its entire element, which you can add on top of the effects and on top of the amps and the graphic EQ.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, Matt touched upon it within the Fret Talk group, and it's like there is a lot of knobs and things to do with it. But my God, when I used it, I was giggling and laughing, and because some of the sounds that you get out of it are just, you're thinking, how the fuck is a plugin doing this?
It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah, it is absolutely crazy. and I was automatically getting lost. And there's got to be about 50 presets that he's made that come as standard with it.
Yeah.
And then there's presets by Leo, who does Frog Leap Studios on YouTube. Joe Gosney from Black Peaks, he's done some. Plus Jack Gardner, he's done some as well. There's a whole load of presets that other people have done themselves.
Cool.
And they really push kind of you into a bit of playing where you're trying to find new ways of playing on the fretboard because the effects are making you play that way.
Yeah.
And I was getting lost on a couple of them where it's using the mono synth built in with like the stereo doubler. There's a built-in transposer as well.
Okay.
And which is like even better than, say, if you're in E standard and you want to drop down to D standard, boom. And I tried that. No latency, none of the polyphonic sort of pitch.
Yeah, the artifacts that you get with it.
Yeah. And it was just really clean and pristine.
Nice.
And I tried it out with the baritone, and I tried it out with the ML1 as well, obviously both his signature guitars. And I was like, for some of the sounds, I was getting straight up like, that's that sound off that album, that's that sound off his EP or whatever. But there really is something for everyone. If you're just a clean Strat player, he's done those sort of tones. If you're an overdriven Strat player, that's there. If you want the progressiveness, that's there. And then if you want really wacky, crazy, outside of the box presets,
kind of like big ambient filling in the sonic space as well.
Like there was one that I really liked, and I think it was called like Follow Your Riff or something like that. But you play, and then the guitar, it's like an automatic swell.
Okay, yeah.
So I was playing one note, and then it would swell in, and you play another note, and it would swell in without, because usually you would have to volume knob it or use the expression pedal, but it does it automatically, and I'm like, how in the fuck has he managed to do this? It's crazy.
Yeah, kind of like the Boss Auto swell.
Yeah,
pedal kind of vibe.
And I was just getting completely enamored and lost with it because I was just enjoying myself so much with some of the sounds.
Indeed.
It is more on the pricier scale. It's 139 euros. I think it's about 120 quid.
Yeah.
So it's not cheap, but
it's definitely
already,
one for the fans.
Already, I'm reconsidering re-recording all of my EP with the tones that are on here.
Oh, that's a dragon that you're never going to catch, that, isn't it?
It is. However, it is that good. The sounds on it were just like straight away I was coming up with, I could add this bit onto my EP, and this would be perfect for this, and there was a preset, I think it was called like Droplets of Fifths or something like that, and when you were playing it would just like kind of ambient echo, but the pitch would change with each one.
Okay.
And I was just like, how has he done this? Like, and obviously it was done through the mono synth thing that's on there. And with the neural products, everything that's on the plugins, the update's not out for it yet, but it is coming. Yeah. You'll be able to import them onto the Quad Cortex
as well,
yeah. So it's kind of like there's a lot of scope for creativity, especially. I must have been playing on it for a good 2.5-3 hours, and I was like, oh, I need to do this, and I need to do this, and I need to sort dinner out or whatever because
I forgot to eat.
Yeah,
we've all been there.
Yeah, I mean that's a sign of a product that really resonates with you, isn't it?
Yeah. When I seen like the mono synth, I was just kind of thinking to myself, is that something that I'm realistically going to use?
Yeah.
But then when I started finding presets that actually had it on there, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. Yes, I will use it. Yes.
Yeah. And it's boy racer in the background. This
Reminds me of TT.
I've automatically kind of found now that there's sounds on there that I'm going to use underneath on the EP because it's just the perfect sort of filler in there.
Yeah, the sonic,
that was it.
Sonic filler.
I've just pulled it up now. So yeah, twin blade compressor, which is based off his Wampler EB10 compressor and preamp.
Yeah.
You've got the Chaos Bed Octaver, which is based off the Electro Harmonics POG. The Colossus Fuzz. Now, he runs 4 fuzzes on his board, so I'm not too sure which one it's voiced after, but I think, judging from when I was playing through it, it's voiced off the Buffalo Effects Germanium Fuzz.
Okay.
And the Paragon Overdrive, which is the Maxon OD 808.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, because I know you can screen share on this Doobery, can't you? Here we go.
Such an old man.
Yeah, I must feel like Lee Dabba Doom doing this.
He loves
Lee,
loves a
if
good
you're
screen
listening,
share.
I'm ever so sorry, but yeah, I am using you as my reference point here because I am going to very see if I can. So those are the amps. We've got the pedals here, which I think look really nice.
Yeah, they've done a great work on the graphics, haven't they?
The Overlord synth, which, as you can see, there's a lot of things.
Doesn't have any keys. It's not a synth.
Cab sims with IRs, transpose and doubler.
Quite a lot going on in there, isn't there?
Yeah, but I absolutely love the way it looks.
Yeah, it's got a very strong look to it, hasn't it? Loving that gold and white kind of aesthetic on that.
Yeah, so that's the rhythm. Then there's that lead one with the purple look on it, and then the steampunky clean sound.
I mean, that doesn't look very clean. That looks as if it should be brutal and metal.
Yeah.
But hey ho, to each their own. Yeah, look, it looks really cool. It's got the kind of steampunk aesthetic. It's got those kind of geometric patterns on it as well, hasn't it? Well, we'll move on to our hot take now. Yeah, Fuzz Face is over. It was our, I think, from last week. 12% of the people said yes, Fuzz Face is over, and agreed with Lee. 88% have said no, fuzz me harder, big boy. Which
I must admit, I think I was the only person that said I'm not in I'm.
I'd also like to note that the percentages have changed because as I went to check what exactly the wording was, I noticed you could add an option, and now there is a vote for penis.
How many percent does penis have?
It has 12%.
Oh, there you go, 12% penis. Oh my god, that sounds like a podcast title, that doesn't it? 12% penis. Woof. Right.
It must be fairly big if you're 12% penis.
Yep. 12% penis.
So what's the hot take this week?
The hot take this week is not 12% penis. Believe it or not. The hot take this week is from a chap in the Pedalboards of Doom group called Andre. He has got a surname, but I can't pronounce it, so that's where we stay. He said, "You don't need so many drives on your board."
False.
I think we should get him.
False.
So I think his argument for this is that you probably need 2 overdrives on your board, or 2 parts of your drive section
False.
Yeah.
I agree with him, and I'll tell you why. You can two sorts of types of overdrive. You might want like a full-on fat overdrive, and then you probably want like a subtle one. The rest of it you can do with the volume knob and the tone knob on your guitar.
Nah, if you touch the volume knob on your guitar, your tone sounds wank. Volume on a guitar should always be at maximum unless you want to take away some of your high end. False.
Unless you've got a high pass, a low pass on your volume control.
Yeah, which is unlikely.
I mean,
Andre, I agree with you, and anybody else is wrong.
If you've got less than 5 gain stages on your board, you need more drive pedals.
Well, I mean, like my board runs like 2.5 really. So I've got I do almost like Josh says. I do one light drive, which is always on because why the fuck not? That's the Mojo because it makes everything sound better. But I also have got the Cheftone Preacher Overdrive prototype, which I use to stack into I stack the Mojo into that. That gives me my kind of full gain when we do chunky, like guitar-driven stuff. And
then what about if you want chunky guitar-driven stuff, but you're playing lead?
That's where I got my boost. So I've got a Tube Screamer, but set with minimal gain to give me the creamy overdrive boostiness.
Is a Tube Screamer not a drive pedal?
Not the way I'm using it. That's why I said 2.5. I could very much
that's a drive pedal, mate.
2 and 3.
But like, I'm not using it as a drive pedal. I'm using it as a boost pedal. I could easily use like a TC Spark there, which you wouldn't argue is a drive pedal. I could use a treble booster. I could use a clean boost if I really wanted to. So it's 2.5, and that's my final offer.
I've got 2 overdrives on my board, and I've got MXR GTOD and the Wish Clon.
But aren't you running all of your drive from your Quad Cortex anyway?
Yes, but I don't use.
I don't
use any overdrives on it. I literally just use the amp on there. That's it.
But how many different amp models?
Huh?
How many different amp models are you using?
1.
Are you not like dual amping it? Like dual.
I was, and then I just went simpler and just did 1 amp, and then hard panned the cab left and right.
Okay, I'll let you off. But that
there are songs that I use 4 different drive sounds in. I don't understand you people.
Go on. Explain to us the process.
Yeah, but you like pedals with jacks at the top of it, so you're
correctly laid out pedals is what I like. But yeah, so you set your amp as on the edge of breakup, so it sounds like an amp being pushed with a drive pedal per se. There's benefits and drawbacks to both. I have to, if I want to play completely clean, I have to roll a little bit of the volume off on my guitar. I never do it. I just don't. Clean is just not a thing for me. So you start with that as a bass sound. Then you've got a light drive that just pushes that a little bit more, which is my Messiah. I then have the heavy side of the Messiah to kick that into a full chunky rhythm kind of crunch. You then have your lead boost, which I have a Tube Screamer that runs into the front end of the Messiah. So you can have a lead boost on either.
What the fuck is the Messiah? I've never heard of that.
It's a Cheftone pedal made by one of our Patreon backers, Mr. Adam Yeomans. It's a Marshall in a box. It's a really, really cool Marshall in a box pedal. I've got a 2-foot switch version, which allows me to do the high gain, low gain on the foot switch, as opposed to it originally came with a toggle switch for that. But yeah, so I've got the Tube Screamer running into that. Normally, I run an Antares after that as like, I can either use it if I want a cleaner lead sound. I can use the Antares over that instead of the Tube Screamer style before. In fact, Tube Screamer style is the Honey Burst, also by Cheftone.
Indeed.
So yeah, so I normally use the Antares after that and have it like so that I can get a cleaner style lead sound.
Yeah.
But at the moment, my anti-air is, because I've got giant fat feet and I like to kick things in the wrong direction a lot. I broke the switch on it, so I had to send it back to Stuart and be like, I'm an idiot. Please, can you fix it for me? So at the moment, that's actually a clean boost. So I'll take that. That's not a drive stage at the moment, but I still use it as a drive stage because I want to drive into the front end of it if I ever use it. So it is. I'm getting more of the drive that I had. And then you also need a fuzz because you always need a fuzz. So I've got a.
But that's not a drive pedal.
Yeah, it's a gain stage. Gain stage.
If you can't get all of the sounds that you want from the right amp, then you've got the wrong amp.
I don't want to use my amp to get gain stages because
no, I don't agree with that.
You can't. So unless if you want a really good saturated overdrive sound, either you have to have a 1 watt amp and crank the absolute bollocks off it, and then you never have a clean tone, or you never get that sound from your amp because you can never turn it up to max. Like my 20 watt Studio Vintage, even if I put that in 5 watt mode, I can't turn it up over half through a 212 cab. You can't because it just blows the roof off people. Your drummer gets whiny, your bass player gets whiny, the other guitarist gets, I can't hear myself. Fuck off, I want to hear me.
That's it. I want better tone.
Every week. So you fucking turn that down, man. Oh, I'm on 2. I mean, the other ones...
Then you need a 10 watt amp or attenuate it.
Yeah, but then there's no middle ground. There's no amp that sounds exactly how I want it to sound. I just give me lots and lots of pedals to run into the front of a really good sounding amp to just manipulate the sound in the way that you want it to. The Messiah runs so well with the Studio Vintage because it's the same kind of circuit and you're just basically playing around. It's almost like playing around the settings on the amp itself. It's voiced almost identically. So I don't have to, literally, I run the treble and the bass at 12 o'clock because I want it to sound how my amp sounds. And that is the neutral sound on the Messiah. And I literally just use the volume and the gain to increase the gain levels. And it all
so you
sounds
see,
like the same
that's
amp.
where you need a Marshall JVM 410 because then you've got the clean, you've got the crunch, you've got the rhythm, and you've got the lead. And you've got everything you need. There you go. Do I need more?
But it doesn't sound as good.
Yeah, because you need to be cranking the balls off the amp to get it to sound the best that it can.
With a pedal, you can crank the balls off your pedal without blowing the room up.
Yeah, they're much more controllable. You can dial in the amount of compression that the pedal gives.
I'm not winning this conversation. I can see that. I'm surrounded by heathens.
You might win it if it goes into our podcast group and then people choose the wrong answer. Then you will win this. But I think you're on an uphill struggle here, basically arguing against a group that really loves pedals, that we've got too many drive pedals.
Well, let's be fair. I did win the Marshall JVM one, and I won the Victory one. So
yeah,
I did. The podcast.
By the way, I was so
won it.
angry listening to last week's podcast when Lee goes, "Oh, well, Marshall only make the Origin that sounds anything like the classic Marshall sound," and I'm going, the Studio Vintage is half the price of that Victory you're talking about, you prick.
But the Victory's better.
But it's not though. It's made of fucking tinfoil.
It's not made of tinfoil, for fuck's sake,
gentlemen. That's in the past. We leave that there. This week we have got. You do not need so many drive pedals on your board.
I'm going to add an extra one just because of this question. I'm adding another drive pedal.
Okay, you do that. Yeah, out of spite. I love it.
In fact, I think I might add my Kossoff drive, which also has another clean boost in it.
Boom, yes.
There's another 2 gain stages.
What I've learned from this conversation is that I could pretty much get away with a dual Messiah and I'd be okay. Like a dual Messiah and a boost, I think I could
He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy.
Indeed. Alas, Chef Tone are unfortunately no more. So that ain't going to happen. Yeah, I agree. Well,
yeah, the podcast agrees with the dog.
Indeed. Right, so we've got some news. Do we want to mention a compressor? Do we want to mention a tube screamer with a clean blend.
A Jaffod.
Go on. We'll do the Origin because we didn't do it last week, and it raised a few eyebrows. So the Origin Halcyon is a green overdrive. It is an 8. It's got a switch in the middle, which is an 808 voice switch, and then a mod switch, which I assume changes the mid characteristic. That's the bit that changes the mid, isn't it?
The mid hump. Yeah.
It'll be an 808 and a modified. What was it? Was it Maxon that did the modified TS9?
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
that's
Maxon.
it's just it's an 808 or a Maxon.
Yeah. So we've got your standard volume, tone, gain, and then we've got a dry level, which should be called clean. I would have thought, but semantics there. So yes, this is it is very much like a pedal that we've mentioned on this podcast previously. We're not going to get into that argument so much, but Origin, they are a company that do things like the weird amp thing. What was it called? The Origin Drive.
What, the revival drive.
That's it. Yeah.
The Fender and Marshall with like 430,763 knobs on it.
Yeah, and then they
Well,
did
no,
like
I
the
must admit,
guitar-friendly version.
if I ever do use a drive pedal on the Cortex, I do use the revival drive on there because it's fucking outstanding.
There you go. So they did basically like a dual amp simulator that can get you anywhere between the kind of American clean and British.
And then they did the
drive tones.
compact version, which was one of them.
Yeah.
Or did it have? It
I
might
think
have
it was
even
the
had a
Marsh.
switch. It might have even had a switch to do both of them, but only one at the time.
Yeah, it basically made it guitar friendly because the argument against the original Revival drive is that you can get it sounding absolutely fantastic at home. The moment you take it to like the venue, it's like the characteristics
different.
of the room are different.
Yeah.
And then it takes too
You have
much
to
time
redial
to
it.
set it.
Yeah, that was so. I tried the Revival with Steve, and like, yeah, it's if you've got somebody else who can play the guitar through the pedal for you, so you can set it up exactly how you want it. Eventually, you'll get it sounding fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
However, if you then open the doors between your living room and your dining room, you have to start again from scratch.
Yeah, but they made the guitarist friendly version with the compact. They did the Cali 76, which is often heralded as the compressor to have. If you've got if money's not an option and you want the best compressor, you go for a Cali 76. And then they also did the Cali 76 compact as well. They've done so many of these kind of innovative kind of boundary pushing pedals, and then it was a bit of a surprise that they brought out a tube screamer. Like, it was just a bit,
Yeah, and
really,
they've
Origin?
added some. They've added some extra bits. So like I say, they do. There's two toggle switches, isn't there? So there's one that does the 808 to the modded 9,
yeah,
and then there's another toggle switch as well, I think.
like a
Just bring
headroom.
it, let me just bring it up because it's on my recently searched on my guitar.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah, I think it does. I think it changes the headroom characteristics, so you get like more of a dynamic.
Like an more open drive, and
Yeah.
and then obviously like the clean blend is something that those of us that are pay quite a lot of attention have seen this on a similarly voiced pedal before. In terms of like it's on the Anteras, but there's plenty of drive pedals out there with a clean blend. It's not something that's sort of unique to Stu.
Yeah.
It's got it's an adapt feature. It says it's like a 0, a 2, and a 1. So your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, I think as far as I remember, it was like the kind of dynamic qualities of the
Adapt dry level, a voice. So yeah, it's just 3 different voicings essentially.
Yeah. So as we mentioned with the Antares before, and I still herald that as like the kind of mid hump overdrive to have, because it is just like the versatility of having the clean blend as well really opens up possibilities. So it's a really good feature, and it's really well featured for the type of pedal that it is. I think there were a lot of people who were a little bit disappointed with Origin because it is basically a tube screamer. I know it's like a very fully featured, but it is again tube screamer.
And again, one of the things you said before the cast was like the Antares is voiced more like the SD, where the hump is in a slightly different place. And I think it's a bit. I know the tube screamer is kind of heralded as like the boost to have if you're going to have a boost, or the blues pedal, or whatever you want to, or if you've got a Strat and a Marshall, you've got to have a tube screamer specifically.
Yeah.
But it seems odd that they've gone for the 808 and the 9, which are different voice, but it's the gain that's voiced differently as opposed to the tone section. I'd have expected them to like have a bit more like differentiation in the tone. Like obviously the other bit is we think it's probably like a headroom switch. And again, if you're wanting a tube screamer sound, like the obviously like JHS have done the 10 tube screamers in a box or whatever, but
the
in
Bonsai.
there you then have the option for those different tone circuits. The SD one is one. I know it's not called the SD one probably, but it's in there, and you've got that option to move around your tone sweep. Whereas this, from what I can see, doesn't have that, and so it's in a slightly different market to the Antares, but it seems like a weird thing for Origin to do. Like I see their stuff as studio gear. It's too complicated for me. It's got too many knobs for pretty much all of their gear. It just I don't have the time, and I do suffer from option paralysis. So the fact like the big drive pedal had like 6 or 7 dip switches on each side and 8 or 9 knobs on each side was just. I just let Steve mess about with it, and I just played through it. And like I said,
but it does have top-mounted jacks.
Great. I don't know whether it does or not. I can't remember, but but yeah, like the Cali 76, the full 6 knob one again. Why do you need 6 knobs on a compressor? Like if you're in a studio, great, yeah, absolutely. But like, I don't want 6 knobs on my compressor. Like 2 is enough.
Yeah,
compression and volume.
Yeah, I mean, it's adding more complication to the circuit, but that's kind of like you say, they are kind of aimed at studio gear. It's not necessarily kind of quote unquote studio quality, but it's aimed for that. Like maybe you have a couple of these Origin pedals in the studio, you have the time to get them dialed in, and then boom, that's the track. Like you dep in a session for it, and boom, you've got that. So maybe this is what this is all about. It's not about being a gigging musician's tube screamer. It's about having this one tube screamer in your gig bag that you can take to a session, and then get all of the tube screamer variant tones that you need.
Yeah.
But who knows? They're okay. Like they're £239, so they sit somewhere between the standard and then like the hand wired versions, like the Ibanez hand wired version.
Oh shit, I forgot about those.
So
it's roughly the same price point as the sparkly red one, isn't it?
I'll believe you.
Do you remember the special edition sparkly red one that was like £250?
Yeah, Dorothy Shoes edition. Yeah. So I mean that's the news for this week, I reckon. I don't think we'll mention the compressor. We'll mention that next week. We've already
Earthquaker have got a new pedal out as well, but yeah, we can cover it next week.
So save it for next week, Josh, because we are not exactly brimming to the top with news in this summer heat. It is drying up much like everything else. Right, it is time to wrap up a podcast.
It is, because I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm sweating like a... I think we'll leave that there. So we extend a thank you to the people who made it this far, because you are awesome. We extend an even specialer thank you to the people who made it this far and pay us to do so. You are Patreon backers and are...
I think Matt Quine should do it again. See if he can remember without his cheat sheet.
Boom. There, challenge.
Okay, so
Gauntlet thrown down.
Yes, let's go for it. So there's Mr. Andrew Bimpson,
Boom.
Mr. Adam Yeomans,
Yes.
Mr. Ben Fletcher of Fletcher Pickups.
I mean, yeah, that's like number 7. No, 6. No, 5. Sorry. Yeah, okay.
There's Mr. Doug Christ.
Yes.
Of the Masters of the Cinematic Universe, the
Yep.
Just Surprise Me podcast, and of 37 Effects.
Yes.
There's Mr. Brian Gower of the Tone Jerks.
Yes. And the second button.
And the Second Button podcast.
Yep.
And quite often the Just Surprise Me podcast.
Yeah, by this point, yeah.
And there's Mr. Hugh G. Rection.
Indeed. That's it.
Is it? Okay, I was racking my brains going, I think there's one more, I can't remember who it is.
No, you did it completely out of order, which confused me. But you did it. You did it, my man. You did it.
Woo.
Hey, look, there's a dog. Oh,
Doggo.
my God. This is the best podcast ever. Yes.
He's a happy doggo. He's a happy doggo.
Indeed. But yeah, sorry, I've lost my train of thought now. There's a dog. Oh, right. So if you want to catch me online, I am Mr. BudgetPedalChap. You can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. YouTube is, of course, the home to the No Talk All Tone series and the No Talk All Tone Versus series, which this week featured a Tube Screamer shootout. And next week will feature insert video here. I've not recorded it yet. Whoops. Matt, we can find you at heel_MattQ at Twitter and Twinstagram.
Correct.
Those are the only 2.
Yes.
Yes.
They've always been the only 2. I don't know what you're talking about.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, listen to our back catalogue, maybe. Do it. Josh, where can we find you?
The Corona Mortis on Instagram. You can find my band at Paramore GB. And this week, you will also be able to get a new episode of the Guitar Geeks podcast at Guitar Geeks Podcast.
Yes. Whoa. Fantastic.
Featuring Marcus Deluxe pedal boards.
Oh, yes.
Oh, cool.
Marcus Deluxe he's a dude. He's definitely a dude. I'll be checking that one out. So yeah, that's the podcast for this week. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And it will be we've got to outro people first, haven't we? So from myself, Mr. BudgetPedalChap. From Mr. Oh my gosh, it is Josh. From
Giving the people what they want.
Indeed, but not necessarily in that order. From Mr. Matt Quine. Say bye, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
Way. It will be a tatty bye. And good night for this week. Hello,
Bye. Speak.
bye. Oh, best outro ever.
So, did you hear about the guy who went to IKEA trying to pick up women? He wanted a one-night stand.